It's a hard year for those who've had crazy things to say about Tupac.
Charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
And more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. I buy a bottle of baby oil, that shit'll last for 4 years for me. I do believe there's a Tupac curse going around, and I think people better be very, very careful the way they maneuver in these streets.
DIY.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, in the year that is going to go down as the year of truth, and it started off with a very disturbing interview with Shannon Sharpe and Cat Williams. I don't give a shit how tired you are of me saying this, by the way. The year of truth. Many have gone down, many have been exposed, and the one here next is Sean Diddy Combs. Look, let me just say this first and foremost. I take no excitement in seeing any black man get locked up. I think a lot of folks who are doing reactions are just repeating the same thing you can get on TMZ and then just adding the ha-has to the freaky-ass headlines. We're going to talk about the freaky-ass headlines, but I take no pleasure in seeing a black man, an entrepreneur, get locked up. But if these things are true, I mean, even just seeing the video of Cassie, what are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? We're talking about a monster. And we're talking about somebody who has affected a music industry that many of you have either tried to get into, have been affected by because of the domino effects, or you've been pushed out of because you wasn't with the shenanigans. Here, you're going to watch a video where they announced why they arrested him. But I have a theory that goes deeper than just him getting arrested. I think that was inevitable, especially if you're operating like this, you're doing business with people in high places. I think it's inevitable. I think something that's happening right now that nobody's talking about is something I'm going to call the Tupac curse.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Let's build the case. Prosecutors outline federal sex trafficking charges against Sean Diddy Combs.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including...
Now, you're seeing these charges that are being here. Why are we starting off? We're talking about a Tupac curse. Why are we starting off with Diddy? Maybe it's important that I give you a little reminder before we finish this video. In this interview here, Tupac, he says a lot about how he felt. In his opinion, he wasn't trying to, as he says, slander the man's name, that Diddy was somehow involved, allegedly, in him getting shot at that studio. He didn't like the way that he talked about Tupac when he was locked up in the same Vibe magazine that he said some things in. And this is what he said, to give you a little bit of reminder real quick.
So do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question. I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine. I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I can say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about.
Here, Tupac just said that he has proof in this Vibe magazine interview from 1996 after he was released. He's talking about he has proof Sean Diddy Combs was allegedly involved in his shooting.
You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. Because you seen what I said in the Vibe article. I basically bowed out and was going to go ahead about my life. The next issue, that wasn't even the next issue, because them cowards waited about 4 issues before they got their story together. 4 issues later, half of New Yorkers commenting on me getting shot. And before, they was all like, we didn't see nothing. In the first issue, read it, Vibe viewers. Nobody seen shit.
I remember reading about this in those Vibe magazines in which they talked about different accounts about what actually happened from the people who were at that Quad studio. The same people who said they didn't see anything had a lot to say about Pac once he got locked up in these Vibe magazines. This is Pac, fresh out of jail, with a lot of things to share. Matter of fact, there's an interview we've never heard with Angie Martinez in which they say to this day, I see it on the Art of Conversation, or Art of Dialogue, where they talk about If that interview were to ever surface, there's people living right now who would have issues.
The fourth issue, when they came back with a reply, everybody knew what I did. They knew what I said. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bullet. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work. They found the bullet. Oh, you found the bullet, huh? So what is this other shit in me then? What was the doctors talking about? What? Can you explain these other holes in me?
Back to the story.
Sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers.
Yeah, you can watch that video in its entirety, but I still want to have a YouTube channel because there's a lot of things being said right here that I don't even know how NBC News can clear it, but I'm not going to go down that rally. There's a lot of charges here. And there's a lot of things that are still sealed. There's a lot of things coming up, one of which, we said the word of the day was egregious. Now, we know when people want to go on a propaganda spree, they're going to say whatever they can to bring you down. But it's only so many times you can say somebody stink. Okay? Maybe you never smelled them. But if all these different people from all over, you think everybody a hater? You think everybody got the same nose? Maybe this nigga just stink. This is just a random example. But as people, you know, the law enforcement were searching Diddy's home in Miami and Los Angeles this year, law enforcement seized narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant.
You's a freaky ass nigga. Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Where do you put 1,000 bottles of lubricant? Like, just as an inconvenience, have you ever seen 1,000 of anything? Don't say dollars. Put $1,000 somewhere, it's cool. You put it in a little box. You ever seen 1,000 of anything? And how much of an inconvenience it would be? 1,000 bottles of lube. These were allegedly for the freak-offs and the things that they did, but we're not getting into the, look, everybody got their little kinks. Everybody got their little thing. I ain't never needed that. Fam, I buy a bottle of baby oil, that shit'll last for 4 years for me. Johnson & Johnson don't get that much business for me. 1,000 bottles? Put down your phone, baby, put down your phone. Put down your phone, baby, put down your phone. Put down your phone, baby, put down your phone. Don't never let them haters ever take you out your zone. Put down your phone, baby, put down your phone. I'm looking in your eyes like a window to your soul. What's been on your mind, what you seeing when you scroll? I tell you that you fine and you wanna change your clothes. I walk up from behind you in the mirror when you pose. Tears in your eyes like, baby, I feel gross. It's when I hold you close to my chest and remind you, don't listen to them trolls or them hoes in designer. Put down your phone, you know the devil is a liar. I still see the baddie I proposed to at the diner. Can tell I made her smile, but it wouldn't be for long. Try to tell her something else, then she picked up her phone. Wait, put down your phone, baby, put down your phone. Put down your phone, baby, put down your phone. What are we doing in here? Don't want to know. But let's continue on with this idea of a TUPAC curse. I was talking to Justin, the company man. We were having a conversation about this, and I was like, I'm developing this story, and I kind of need your help to kind of like, you know, let me know if you see if there's something here. He reminded me, in this year of truth, there was somebody else that went down, Keefe D. Remember Keefe D was one of the individuals that admitted to being in the car of the person who turned the lights out. I can't say certain words on YouTube. Who canceled the lights out. Somebody who aimed out the car and ended TUPAC. He was the driver of the car. Some even said the alleged shooter. With that said, Justin reminded me he went down officially for charges this year as well. The TUPAC curse.
Man facing charges in the death of Tupac Shakur, Dwayne Davis, was back in court today. At the center of this case lately has been the way Davis posted bail this year, using money from a producer who allegedly offered Davis the bail in exchange for exclusive television rights to Davis's life story. Judge Carly Kearney denied Davis's bail again this morning, and afterward Davis spoke up, claiming the prosecution ordered corrections officers to attack him in his cell.
They brutally beat me up, they attacked me and assaulted me.
Now, mind you, I can't play the video, but this was the same Keefe D that we saw. And this is not about trying to get into anybody's street politics. I got no business in there. But I did think it was egregious to see him on Vlad TV speaking as if nobody or anybody could touch him as he outlined pulling up to Tupac's car and eventually being the cause of his demise. I watched that video and couldn't believe the time period we were living in, but yet and still it happened. Here's somebody else, Keefe D, who is now going down for an egregious use or abuse of the reputation of Pac. And this is not trying to put Pac up there as some kind of like holy spiritual figure. I'm just saying there's a lot of coincidences happening right now.
And it was wrong. I told him I had cancer. I'm on blood thinners.
You've made very serious allegations regarding police brutality and the DA's orchestrating some sort of attack on you. I wasn't aware of any of this. Ultimately, I think you need to be aware of the things that you're saying.
They attacked me and assaulted me.
It's a hard year for those who have had crazy things to say about Tupac. One of those being somebody who can't seem to sit down and keep himself out the news. Hey, you remember this? There's a story I want to share with you guys one day that I don't know if you were around to see it. Before Not Like Us took all the attention of that battle, before all the chaos ensued afterwards, there once upon a time existed a song that I absolutely hated. I hated the idea of it. Remember that AI diss song that Drake recorded? The same Drake, mind you, who has a toilet that if you pee into it, it plays California Love. The same Drake that bought Tupac's ring, a dead man's ring, was the same one who said in his song Fear that I wouldn't cry if Tupac did, but I would cry if Jay-Z did. Well, you collector, colonizer, whatever you want to call it, why do you seem to be so obsessed with Mr. Pac, man? Remember that the Tupac estate threatened to sue Drake over his diss track using what appears to be in the rapper's AI-generated voice? Remember that?
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
That's somebody else that seems to be having a rough year. Tupac curse? I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. Don't mind me. I'm just where there's smoke. You know how it is. When you go to sleep and you think you smell gas and you start. You smell that, baby? You smell that? That's where we're at right now. I'm just looking around. You know who else had a very difficult time this year? Look, Yachty, you see all that stuff he got going on with all them folks he arguing with? You remember he had something crazy to say about Tupac? Remember he said, I never listened to Tupac and Biggie music. He called the music overrated. In the year of truth, why is so many people that was saying crazy shit about Tupac getting fucked up?
Somebody's gonna have to tell the truth, and I'm gonna tell it.
Now, before you think I'm just making this theory up out of nothing, don't forget this very channel had a video. If you type it in, Tupac Curtis King. Do not forget, we made a video because not even 3 months ago, Tupac was still getting disrespected by Questlove and Drake in the same month. Remember Questlove said,
Hit 'Em Up to me is disqualified, not because of the overly
vitriol.
Yeah, the misogynist, like forget all that. It's like, dude, you're rhyming over like smooth jazz dinner music.
Dennis Edwards.
Like
wow.
literally.
Hey, my question is, why can't these people leave a dead man alone? Why they can't let the man rest in peace? Y'all better leave him alone. You know, I know curses and all of that is like, you know, some people don't believe in that kind of stuff, but I know some people who really believe that the Boston Red Sox had a curse. If you believe that there was a curse at Fenway Park, I believe that there's a curse on Tupac Lane. And y'all should have left that man alone. Lil Yachty going through a little Yachty. All of this stuff going on. I think it's really, really, really interesting. Let me know if I'm crazy. I might be, but I keep seeing a lot of things happening, and I wonder, in this year, could this be the year that these people have to answer for the disrespect? What honor do people take in disrespecting the legacy of someone who has passed away? Here's what I've kind of concluded about the way all these people have talked a crazy amount about his legacy. To me, this only solidifies how much he means, first of all, to the culture, how much he means to people, to a point where the man has not had an opportunity to update any of his thoughts since 1996. And he is still at the top of the headlines with people he's never met, some of which weren't even born when he passed away. Crazy theory, maybe the craziest theory we ever had. I do believe there's a TUPAC curse going around, and I think people better be very, very careful the way they maneuver in these streets, talking about not just Tupac, but anybody that has passed away. Let the people rest in peace. Those are my thoughts, though, DIYers. You let me know what you think. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Don't be greedy. Peace.